بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. سئل فضيلة الشيخ أعلى الله درجته ما حكم الوتر وهل هو خاص برمضان? What's the ruling on making witr? Is it obligatory? Is it recommended? Should you do it? What is the specific legislation regarding witr? And is witr specific to Ramadan? Only to be made in this month and during this month. فأجاب فضيلته بقوله الوتر سنة مؤكدة في رمضان وغيره حتى إن الإمام أحمد وغيره يقول من ترك الوتر فهو رجل سوء أو رجل سوء لا ينبغي أن تقبل شهادته فهو سنة مؤكدة لا ينبغي للمسلم تركه لا في رمضان ولا في غيره. Answer says witr is a highly recommended act of sunnah. It's highly recommended in Ramadan and outside of Ramadan. And witr is so important and so special that Imam Ahmad rahimahullah and others, they said whoever does not make witr is an evil person and their testimony should not be accepted. Their testimony should not be accepted. Therefore, witr is sunnah mu'akkadah. It's a highly recommended sunnah, and it's unnecessary for a Muslim to abandon witr in Ramadan or outside of Ramadan. وَالْوِتْرُ هُوَ أَنْ يَخْتِمَ صَلَاةَ اللَّيْلِ بِرَكَعَةٍ. He says in witr is for you to finish your night prayer, to cap it off, to seal it with one unit of prayer, one rak'ah. وَلَيْسَ الْوِتْرُ كَمَا يَفْهَمُهُ بَعْضُ الْعَوَامِ أَنَّهُ الْقُنُوتُ فَالْقُنُوتُ شَيْءٌ وَالْوِتْرُ شَيْءٌ فَالْوِتْرُ أَنْ يَخْتِمَ صَلَاةَ اللَّيْلِ بِرَكْعَةٍ أَوْ بِثَلَاثٍ سَرْدًا. He says in witr is for you to finish your night prayer with one odd rak'ah. And witr is not, as many ignorant people or layman people think and feel, is qunut. That's not witr. When they make the qunut, they make the dua. That's not witr. He says witr is for you to finish your prayer with one rak'ah or three rak'ah together, odd. وَعَلَى كُلِّ حَالٍ فَالْوِتْرُ سُنَّةٌ مُؤَكَّدَةٌ فِي رَمَضَانَ وَفِي غَيْرِهِ وَلَا يَنْبَغِي لِلْمُسْلِمِ أَنْ يَدَعَهُ. He says at the end of the day, witr is a highly recommended act in the month of Ramadan and outside of the month of Ramadan, and it is unnecessary for the Muslim to abandon it. It's unnecessary for the Muslim to abandon it. This fatwa is given by Sheikh Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala. And in brief commentary upon this fatwa from the Sheikh rahimahullah, Allah have mercy upon him, we know that most of the ulama of Islam hold the view that witr is highly recommended. And perhaps there's some ulama who say that it is mandatory, that it has to be done. It's mandatory and it has to be done. As far as the ulama who say that it's highly recommended, then they say that the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to do it, told us to do it, and the 5 daily prayers are the only prayers which are obligatory upon the Muslim. As far as was the night prayer in witr mandatory upon the Prophet, then that's a different discussion. And the other ulama who say that witr is mandatory, then they use those hadiths in which the Prophet ﷺ tells us to make witr, encourages us, and commands us to perform the witr. So the scholars of Islam, they differ. But none of them differ on the fact that it's a very good thing to do and an extremely important thing to do. Whether that thing is fard, wajib, or sunnah mu'akkadah. It doesn't fall under the level of highly recommended sunnah, borderline wajib. When we say sunnah mu'akkadah, it is borderline wajib, meaning that it's almost wajib, but it actually isn't, according to that definition. As far as Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala's statement, whoever leaves off witr, فَهُوَ رَجُلُ سُوء, he's an evil man, a bad man, لَا يَنْبَغِي أَن تُقْبَلَ شَهَادَتُهُ, his testimony should not be accepted. Then Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, he meant to show and to emphasize, why would a person continually leave off these highly recommended acts unless there's something else going on, unless there's something else seriously wrong with this person's deen? As we say, something is under his fingernails, and which is unnecessary for a person to just neglect and look down upon the clearly highly recommended acts over and over and over again unless something is wrong with his deen. Perhaps that's what Imam Ahmad meant, and if that's not the case, then a righteous person is he who does the obligatory acts and avoids the haram acts, period. It is not a condition that you have to do the recommended acts and stay away from the things which are disliked for a person to be adil, for a person to be a just Muslim, let alone for his testimony to be accepted. A person will go to paradise bi-idhnillah by doing the fard and avoiding the haram. As it states in the clear, authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, if a person wishes to do extra, to go to a higher level, to have more virtue, then that's optional, as is mentioned in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. However, the wisdom of Imam Ahmed, for someone to claim to be righteous and pose to be righteous, why would they never ever make the recommended acts? Never. Not some of them, sometimes. Some of them are hidden to you. You don't see them doing. Never make them whatsoever. That's just not a good sign of a strong deen. Thirdly, with regards to the reality of witr. Witr is making prayer. And it does not necessitate the dua, the qunut. That is not a condition of witr. So if a person made Salatul Taraweeh and he led the people in witr and he made dua, it's not necessarily impermissible. And the prayer is valid. Also, the option and the flexibility of making witr in one rak'ah or three altogether. The Shaykh mentioned, he says sardan, three together, not two tasleems, two and then one, but it says sardan, all together at the end of the day. Last but not least is, he says that witr is necessary for the Muslim to do in Ramadan and outside of Ramadan. Some of us only make witr in Ramadan. Some of us only make qiyam al-layl in Ramadan. Some of us only come to the masjid in Ramadan. Some of us only fast or give sadaqah or feed in Ramadan. And that's unnecessary for the masjid to be a vacation or a tourist center in which we only come in Ramadan. And outside of Ramadan, the masjid is empty. I don't pray at night outside of Ramadan, or nothing extra or nothing special. That's unnecessary. So witr is something which you should do all around the year, the clock. 365 days, as they say. Wallahu ta'ala alam, sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa barak, ala abdihi rasulih nabina Muhammad.